Didn't mean to do that. What's going on, family? Welcome to tonight's live stream. I am Sir Ashley. I'm a realtor and investor here in the Carolinas, and I want to talk to you. We're going to go over an article, and I have some guests. I want to talk to you about the South, and an article that says the top 10 best places to move in 2023 is right here in the South. And since I'm in North and South Carolina, I wanted to bring you a panel of colleagues that I've worked with, that I trust, team members, to share with you the different benefits of their various cities here in the South. Now, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Type question and then type your question. I want to make sure we address as many questions as possible. And if you want to, questions about the housing market, about the various areas, about what the Fed said today, how it may impact interest rates, whatever it may be, please leave a question. We are here to help. And I want to introduce you to, you have to bear with me. This is a fairly new program. I want to introduce you to the panel. Here we go. All right, so hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me?
Hello.
Perfect.
Hi.
We have Tamika out of Raleigh. We have Naomi out of the Charleston area, and Mariea out of Greenville, South Carolina, and Charleston, South Carolina, not to be confused with Charleston, West Virginia. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Nice. So quickly, I want to touch on this article, get into it. And the article is the 10 best cities to buy a home in 2023 are all in the South. It was published last week, and I saw it. I'm like, I know people in all of these, well, most of these cities. And we will bring somebody on the channel from the Atlanta area. I couldn't get anybody available for tonight. We have Raleigh. Median sales price is $460. And we're going to touch on what each city has to bring. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Greenville. We have Mariea here for Greenville. Median price is $335. And then the Charleston area, one of my personal favorites outside of Charlotte, median price is $416. And then we have Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, and Jacksonville, Florida, as well as San Antonio, Texas, and Knoxville, Tennessee. I will try to bring people from those other cities onto the channel. But today we have this panel here. And I say, let's jump into it. Tamika, Raleigh, I'm just going to go around the horn here. What is so attractive about Raleigh?
Well, there's a lot of great things about Raleigh. One of the biggest things and the reason why people move here is of course, the job market, right? There's a lot of big companies that are coming to Raleigh, a lot of expansion out here as well. The schools are great.
Y'all do have the number one, Wake County has the number one school district or county in the state.
Yes. In addition to that, I think the food is great. I think the food is,
Talk to us about the food. Most people don't talk about food. Tell me about the food.
Well, I'm vegan/vegetarian, so I don't eat meat, and I think we have a a wide variety of different type of foods for vegan slash vegetarians here. So I think that's a plus.
That is a plus. That is a plus. I'm with you. I am vegetarian adjacent.
I like that.
Okay.
Adjacent. I make exceptions. Like bacon calls me sometime. Like it calls my name, and I can't say no. Occasionally, and then maybe once a quarter, once every 6 months, I have to have a good steak. But for the most part, I just feel better not eating meat. So I know we're getting off topic. I know, and we're in the Carolinas, and what barbecue is kinging here in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's various options. Charlotte has a plethora of options as well. So I do like the fact that Raleigh has options. Okay,
Yeah,
Naomi, I'm gonna
you
go
can
to
have your
you.
cheat days.
No, go ahead. Have your cheat days.
Yeah.
um, what makes the Charleston area so attractive?
I want to expand on what Tamika was talking about,
Yeah,
the actual migration of jobs.
yeah,
They're building the Boeing 787 here. We have
Oh wow.
Boeing, we have Volvo, Mercedes, we have the port here, military bases, and also this is a very, very attractive tourist spot. We have beaches here, several
yeah.
beaches. We have different islands. We have James Island, Johns Island, Kiowa Island, where they host the PGA tour, golf
Hmm.
tour. So, I mean, in the food too. The food here, the
Yeah,
food is
that low
great.
country food. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all got it going. Y'all
Yes.
got it going.
Yes, but there's a lot of a lot of big companies here, and what I'm seeing a lot of so far is a lot of people are getting rid of those big homes up north and
Hmm.
coming down here to be closer to the beach, warmer weather.
Yeah, I like it. Real quick, we have what 30 people watching right now. If you don't mind, hit that like button, leave a comment, share it with some friends and colleagues. It greatly helps us out and just lets us know that you're engaged. Maria, Greenville,
Yes.
talk to me about it.
Oh, Greenville. Greenville is growing. People are coming here because, one, lower taxes. I was in a
Yeah.
meeting where everybody was talking about the taxes. People
Mm.
are amazed. So they're coming here, the taxes,
Hmm.
the weather,
Yeah.
the employment. We have BMW, we have Clemson, we have Michelin, GE, Milligan. Um, BMW just did another expansion.
Yeah.
Michelin is doing an expansion. So people are coming here for the jobs. And then we're talking about just the entertainment. We have the parks. We have the Children's Museum. We have many restaurants that are coming in daily. Um, we're centrally located, so you have access. You like close. You can easily get to Atlanta, to Charlotte, to Charleston, to Myrtle
Hmm.
Beach, to the mountains. So we're just kind of a hodgepodge of everything, and people are loving it.
Yeah. No, we have a client we just worked with, right?
Yes.
That loves it, has integrated and made themselves at home. So yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Um, and Charlotte was not on that list, but Zillow already said Charlotte was the number one destination for 2023. So I've done a video on it. I've talked about it. It's not on that CNBC list, but Charlotte is what's so attractive about Charlotte is the cost of living and what you get for the price, as well as we talk about jobs. We don't have the manufacturing as much as Charleston and Greenville, but we have banking, all the major banks, Bank of America. We are the retail banking capital of the world. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Truist, Ally. We have Duke Energy. Tons of what Fortune 500 companies are here and want to be located in Charlotte. So it just brings Lowe's so much diversity to the city that wasn't here even 10, 15 years ago. We talked about food.
Definitely.
And reason why food, at least in the Charlotte area, has become so diverse is because we have gotten such a diverse population coming to the area. So that's one thing I've loved about seeing Charlotte grow. Hey, Ricky. Ricky from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. If you have any questions, please uh, leave a question about the housing market, about any one of these locations. So that's one of the great things about Charlotte, and excuse me, it's right on the border between North and South Carolina, so you get to take advantage of the best of both worlds. I live just across the border in the South Carolina portion, and taxes for owner occupied, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Very true.
Now, investment properties, that's not invest in North Carolina, unless it's a multifamily. But yeah, that's just one of the main attractions to Charlotte in this location, as far as 3 hours to the beach, 2.5 hours to the mountains, a little more than that to Atlanta, 2.5, 3 hours to Raleigh, depending on where at you're going in Raleigh. So yeah, it's a prime location as well. Now, if you all
Hey,
don't mind,
Ash,
yes.
hey, Ashley, another thing,
Mhm.
in doing my little homework for
Yeah, yeah.
our talk tonight, Greenville is listed as a canine destination.
Canine destination.
Yes. We actually have restaurants that cater to our little four-legged furry friends, as well as having, it's just pet friendly walking through the city. You
Yeah.
have water dishes and treats throughout. So, people are coming here because they can take their four-legged babies with them everywhere.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about a dog being in the same restaurant as where my food's being prepared. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm not against pets or anything. Well, you ask my family, they'll say I don't have pets. I don't. Well, they'll say I'm against it. I'm not against it. It's just I don't want you preparing my food and the. But I get it. There's a lot of bars here in the Charlotte area that's pet friendly, but not many restaurants. Probably two or three, but not many. What about your locations as far as Raleigh, Tamika? Is it pet friendly? We all have different
Raleigh is,
areas of the Raleigh portion where y'all have the hip portions and whatnot. So
yeah.
tell me what you. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. Definitely pet friendly.
Okay.
Not too, but there are some restaurants that allow pets to go in. But dog parks and the pets eat steaks, eat better than
The
the
people do.
homeowners. The
I'm not even
homeowners.
so not to get too off topic. That's one of my main problems. Like we treat pets in this country better than we treat other Americans,
Yeah,
like other humans. Like I don't get
yeah.
it. I don't get it. But that's an aside. I won't go to left field tonight. But
But we're
uh,
definitely pet friendly.
all right, Naomi. What about Charleston area?
Charleston is definitely a pet friendly city. Every almost every new community like that's built in the Charleston Somerville area
Hmm.
has a specific dog park
Yeah.
just for the fur baby. So it's definitely dog friendly.
So I am definitely outnumbered. We have some dog lovers in the watching the stream right now. Uh, we got heart emojis with the dog emoji. So yeah, if you love your pets,
Come
come
on.
to come on. You can bring them.
Greenville.
They'll serve your food right next to them. There you go. Um, so yeah, we have Carol. Thanks for the comment about she loves the Raleigh Durham Chapel Hill area, and says Charlotte is nice too. I appreciate that. Carol, if you don't mind, what do you love about that area? Because I lived in the Triangle. I lived in Raleigh. I lived in Durham, um, but I prefer Charlotte. I prefer Charlotte. So I want to get some behind the scenes stuff that you typically won't get from normal, I don't know, videos like this or talking. Where if somebody was budget conscious in your area, where could they get the most bang for their buck for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home, about anywhere from 15 to 2,000 square feet? Let's start. Let's go in reverse. Naomi, what do you say?
Um, I would say Monk's Corner. It
Yeah,
is probably about 30 miles outside of Charleston. Actually, I saw a new construction out there, 1,400 square feet for 299.
very nice.
Yeah,
3.2, 299. Okay, and
single family home, not a town home. I mean, new construction, so that's not bad at all.
no, not bad at all. Uh, and I guess aside before we move on, now the Charleston area, I have a lot of people reaching out wanting to move down south and not quite sure about transportation and stuff. Do you need a car to get around the Charleston area, or what was public transportation like?
You definitely need a vehicle in the Charleston area unless you are wanting to live and work in downtown Charleston. You're going to need a vehicle.
Okay,
Definitely need a vehicle.
a reliable vehicle.
Yes, very, very, because you will be sitting in traffic for a very long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Uh, um, Real quick, Kareem, what's going on? Good evening, family. Thank you for joining. Thank you for leaving a comment. We got 40 people. Please go ahead, hit that like button, share it. We're just talking about the best cities to move to in 2023, and they happen to all be in the South. And I have experts from various locations: Charlotte, that's me; Raleigh, Charleston, South Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina. And we're just here to serve you and talk about the various locations and what's attractive about them, and here to answer any questions you may have as well. We have Gloria moving from Long Island to Northeast Greensboro in 2 weeks. I don't have anybody on here in the Greensboro market. I actually service the Greensboro market myself, have team members out there. And I think the Greensboro market is undervalued, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck. It's not going to make any list, but as far as growth and jobs and opportunities, that area has exploded. There's new manufacturing coming to the area, electric car manufacturers coming to the area. So Greensboro, if you're looking at and surrounding, will be a good investment to hold on to, because you can get the same home, True Homes. We talked about True Homes before we jumped on, Naomi. Same True Homes floor plan in Greensboro is 150,000 dollars less than here in Charlotte. And it's the same square footage, same everything. So
Oh,
Greensboro
wow.
is a lot of bang for your buck. And Mariea that was money calling right there. Maria Maria's helping us out. She already prefaced. She's like, look, I got a client. I'm helping. They're actually moving to the area. We talked about places to move to, moving to the area. So she may have to leave us soon, or may not be able to last the entire live stream. But I am grateful and appreciative for you joining us, Mariea, while you can. Um, we have my man Danny. Real quick, super sticker. Uh, What's going on, Danny? He's a team member. Please go ahead and follow Real Estate with Danny on YouTube. He talks about Charlotte, gives house tours. Very educated, very wise brother. Just helping, willing to help and go the extra mile for his clients, just as well as these other individuals here, Tamika, Naomi, and Mariea. We do have a question. Actually, let me finish with our question before. Mariea, let me ask you before you
Yes.
go. I'm not kicking you off, but if you have to go, let us know. Best bang for your buck in the area. Where would you say, if they were moving to the Greenville area, where can they get the most bang for their buck?
I'm going to say we have several areas. So anything outside of the city of Greenville,
Yeah.
you can talk about Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, Greer, Taylor's, um, Piedmont. Those areas, I always say you get more bang for your buck. You get more house, you get more space, more land. Um, bells and whistles, uh, income, money not a problem, go downtown Greenville.
I like downtown Greenville. Um, so of the cities we're representing here, I believe Greenville is the most affordable option of the four. And outside of Greenville, you can get a lot for 250, 275, stuff that you typically. I'm looking for some client right now in the twos here in Charlotte, and it's just hard. It's hard. It's a fixer upper. You don't want to move. It's just very difficult. In Greenville, you won't have a problem. In Columbia, you won't have a problem. Um, Tamika, real quick, let me ask you the same thing. Best bang for your buck in the Raleigh area, Wake County, or anywhere in the Triangle.
So if you are looking for your best bang for your buck areas outside of Raleigh, I would typically recommend or would be like Clayton, Zebulon, Smithfield, Holly Springs. These are some of the areas where you can find houses around 250, 300,000. Um, and those would be the areas that you could get the best bang for your buck, like right now,
Yeah,
like six
right now.
months to a year from now.
No, I can
And
honestly say
you,
Holly Springs, 6 months to a year from now, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be that bang for the buck because
it's
Holly
absolutely
Springs
not
is growing and
growing.
yeah, no, you're not gonna get that same bang for your buck. Here
Yeah.
in the Charlotte area, bang for your buck. I just did a breakdown of the Charlotte numbers and all the counties and everything. I would say go right down across the border to Lancaster, South Carolina, that county, Lancaster, South Carolina, most bang for your buck in the Charlotte area. Then after that, I would have to say Gaston County, Mount Holly. You mentioned Naomi, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 299. There's a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square foot home for like 349, which is very reasonable, and it's a very large lot. Like point, well, for the area, point
Right.
35. So typically with new home construction, you're getting like point 0.12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 0.35 for 2,000 square feet, brand new, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. You actually have a dedicated dining area where typically, you all know, you actually typically just have an open downstairs where you just have a box
Hmm.
and everything. So that is a steal as far as value. And then I also would consider north of Charlotte, um, Cabarrus County, or even talked to a gentleman earlier today. If you don't mind a commute of like 45, 50 minutes, Salisbury is is where it's at. Salisbury is pretty much right in between. Excuse me, right in between Greensboro and Charlotte. We have a question here. Question for us all, respectively. What is the ideal income to have for a married couple moving to North Carolina or South Carolina? Uh, let's go, Tamika. What would you say the ideal income in the very expensive Raleigh area?
In the ideal income,
Ideal income for a
um,
married couple. I may offend some people. I'm
I,
not gonna lie.
I have to think.
I'll answer. I'll answer for the Charlotte area.
Uh,
You think about it, Tamika. For the Charlotte area, I think you can get by with 70, 80. I think you need at least 120.
I was gonna say 100,000, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, now it depends. Do you have kids? Are the kids active? Are they
Mhm.
in events and sports and all the other stuff? Now, if it's just really husband wife, not no extracurricular, no additional. I was gonna say burdens. No kids. Then yeah, you can get
You
by on the
wrong for
70,
that one.
80. You can get by over the 70, 80. But I mean, you have kids. No, you need about 120 in the Charlotte area, I believe, to be comfortable. Now you can make it.
Yeah.
I know people that make it on much less, but we're talking about comfortable to where you're not sacrificing your quality of life and being able to invest and save and do adult things.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, I think that. Are you ready, Tamika?
Yeah, I was gonna say around the 100,000.
Yeah,
100,000 at again would be comfortable.
yeah.
That will give you guys the opportunity to afford something that you really you like and you can deal with. That it's not going to require a lot of work or anything like that. So a
Uh,
100,000 will do it.
100,000 will do it. I feel like I maybe I don't feel like I'm off, but because right now the cost of living in Raleigh is a little higher than Charlotte, but
Hmm.
I don't know about the extracurricular stuff, right? I'm thinking about housing itself.
Yeah.
Naomi, what would you say the ideal income for a married couple moving to the Carolinas? Let's say without kids and then with kids, with two kids.
Okay, without kids, you could get away with maybe 80, 90.
That's the
If you
same as
have kids,
Greenville.
yeah, with kids, you definitely need 130 plus.
Yeah,
I would, to be honest with you, I would even say 150 to live comfortably.
yeah, and
150
that's
to
that's
live
real.
comfortably.
And so again, we're not here to discourage anybody from moving to the area. The whole point is this is the place to move to, right? We're not here to
Right.
discourage you, but we want you to have realistic expectations for the area you're moving to. Many people think coming to the South is just cheaper. It
Yeah.
is a little slower. It's not that much. Maybe 10, or not even maybe. I can say 10 years ago, it was much cheaper, but not now. It's not as much of a disparity between what you need to live comfortably. Mariea, what would you say about the Greenville area?
Um, Actually, you can probably have an income maybe around the 60 single person,
Hmm.
80 married couple, maybe with no kids. Um, Anywhere from between probably 60 to 100. You
Okay,
can live comfortably.
that's I'm sure that's welcomed after we just said six figures from everybody else, right? So
Hey, I have a lot of clients that are not making six figures,
yeah,
so
yeah. No, and I do too. I don't want to discourage anybody. Like we said, it was a general question. Like ideal income. Ideal, I mean, not what everybody has, but what's ideal for you to live and not have to sacrifice the things that you like. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I like ordering food every single day. I like ordering food every single day. Um, so yeah, I need to be able to support that habit, right? Um, Donna Reed says, I'm visiting Greenville, South Carolina next month. Any information is helpful. How's the healthcare market for jobs? She works in healthcare in Houston and it's oversaturated. Mariea, what do you have to say about the healthcare market? How can we help Donna?
Donna, Greenville is a great area. We have the Prisma system, Bon Secours, St. Francis. We have numerous medical campuses. So I think Greenville is excellent for a healthcare position. Come visit us. I would love to show you around and introduce you to some of the medical places.
Perfect, perfect. And I will have everybody's contact information in the description. Again, this is a new system. I did not put it in before, but I'll make sure. It's a new system for me. I'll make sure everybody's contact information. So during the replay or when you watch it, you will be able to pull up and contact them directly. And Naomi, I have somebody, Alex Swartz,
Okay.
contacting you soon. We're,
Okay.
I was bragging about Nexton.
Oh yeah, he's already reached out to me.
Oh, perfect. I gave him your information today, earlier today.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Okay. He's on it. He is on it. I respect him
Yeah.
for that. And we talk about people coming to the area. Um, that's coming from New York to the Carolinas. Uh, so Ricky, York, South Carolina. Yes, York, South Carolina. I um, I live in York County, South Carolina, but there's different portions of it. Some are affordable or more reasonable, more bang for your buck. And York, South Carolina, it's a county, but also is a town, city, is very reasonable. Uh, Casey asked bang for your buck in the Charlotte area. I mentioned a few of them: Mount Holly, Gaston County, York, Lancaster County in the South Carolina portion. And then if you go up north, you have Cabarrus County, and I say Salisbury is very reasonable. Like you can get new construction in the twos. If you go to Albemarle, which is a little northeast, you can get new construction in the twos, low threes, where that same home would be in the fours, 450, if you were right in the heart of Charlotte. Uh, we have a question about Burke or Caldwell County. Are you familiar with those counties, Tamika?
Burke or Caldwell County?
Yeah,
No. Is
that
that
I'm not familiar. I'm not even gonna even hold them.
is that North
Um,
Carolina? Is that North
yes, I
Carolina?
think it is North Carolina.
Oh.
Um, Sean asks, so many military towns to make money in the Carolinas. Naomi, you touched on the military bases in the Charleston area, and I did a video about Charleston, and as I was doing research on it, I didn't realize that you had so much industry. Like I was talking about recession-proof areas to live
Mm-hmm.
in, and Charleston is at near the top because it doesn't rely solely on one industry. Uh,
Correct.
Talk to me about the military uh, towns in the South Carolina, but Charleston area.
Okay. You have the Air Force Base right there in North Charleston. You have the Navy base right there in Goose Creek, which is probably around 10 miles from North Charleston. Um, they're building a super Coast Guard base in Charleston County. It's supposed to be the largest Coast Guard base in the whole country. It's going to be built right here in Charleston because it's close to the port. So there's there's a lot of military here. That's what brought me here to the Carolinas. My husband's active duty military, so it's a lot. It's a lot of military here.
Yeah, yeah. Mariea, talk to me about the military in your area.
I don't know a whole lot. I know we have some military bases here.
Hmm.
We have the Donaldson Center,
Yeah.
um, and that's basically where a lot of our military is. And then we have pockets throughout Spartanburg County
Yes.
and Anderson County.
Perfect. I actually
So
have
I
somebody
don't get to work.
I'm gonna send
Go
your
ahead.
way in the Spartanburg area soon. We're getting through the you know the initiation, the feeling out, but I'm gonna send them your way.
Okay.
Tamika, I know Fayetteville is. You're very familiar with Fayetteville. You know Fayetteville. It's not in the triangle, but it's close enough, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Tell me about the military and around that area.
Um, so Fayetteville we have the biggest Army base. We're right here at Fort Bragg. And then we have Pope Air Force Base as well. So there's a lot of military here. A lot of people getting deployed and sent out, and a lot of people that also come in. So that also helps with the housing market there as well. Um, but yes, a lot of military here.
Yeah, there's tons of military, tons of military.
Yeah.
Um, Clarissa, senior development in Lancaster County, Lancaster, South Carolina. Yeah, there's several 55 and older communities in the greater Charlotte area and in coming across the border in the South Carolina portion. Sun City is one that I would recommend. It's not brand new construction, but I definitely recommend you checking that out. And then there's several others. Reach out to me. We can put you in contact and find something that works for you. And we have a question. Kelly asked, how diverse is the South now? Potentially moving from the DMV area, which is very diverse. Now, let me touch on that first. We talked about, I went to school in DC, I went to Georgetown. I love the DMV. I consider it my second home. Uh, we aren't there do not compare the Carolinas to the DMV as far as diversity. It's not happening. It's not happening. You might so it's much better than when I first came. When I came here, I moved to Raleigh, Durham, right on the border in what, '06. and I came right from DC, and I'm like, this is for the birds. This is not it. But over time, it has grown. It has become more diverse. But I would say one, I would not be here still if it was not diverse. I have kids, and I want to make sure they're, you know, get a little bit of everything and surrounded by everyone. So it has grown tremendously, but it's nowhere near the DMV area, at least in the Charlotte area. Um, Mariea, what do you have to say regarding
Um,
diversity in the South?
well, Greenville is very diverse.
Yeah.
We're growing by leaps and bounds. We have the various different companies. Again, BMW, German. We have Michelin. Um, so again, we are definitely growing. Um, and just recently, I was reading about all of the breweries that are bringing
Okay.
the various people from all over, just downtown Greenville.
Yeah.
It is great. So I'm gonna have to go visit some of these breweries. I was reading, I'm like, okay, that blew my diet. So, you need to come and we can walk downtown and visit they have a beer tour. And I'm like, okay, I think it's
Yeah.
time to go visit. I don't even drink, but that sounds really well. A wine tour.
Wine tours,
Um,
yes, yes. So, real quick, we have 72 viewers. Thank you all for tuning in. Definitely appreciate you all. Do me a huge favor, hit that like button, uh, share it, leave a comment. We will be getting to the comments. I know I'm a little backed up, but we're trying to address any questions you all have. Since I have such a first time I have four people on, right? We want to get everybody's uh, perspective in their area. Um,
oh,
tr- Go
Ashley,
ahead.
I wanted to also let you know that, Greenville is definitely a city where a lot of people are coming here retiring.
Yes.
Um, Again, taxes, the price of houses, um, even right now, the building of homes. We have two-story homes. We're starting to have a lot of patio homes, one-level homes. Um, just inviting people to come to Greenville,
And
and the walkability downtown is also uh, a, grab for people.
no, thank you for that. Naomi, diversity in Charleston.
It's very, very diverse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. The military is one.
Mhm.
It's huge. Um, Another thing I wanted to add was, Boeing has a manufacturing plant in the state of Washington, and they decided to build, the plant here in Charleston for tax reasons. So we have a lot of people, that transferred from Washington to Charleston. Um, as well, like I said, we have Mercedes here, we have Volvo here, we have a Google plant here, we have Amazon here. Um, we have universities here. That's another thing I wanted to mention. We have a lot of colleges and universities right here in Charleston. So you have people coming from all over just to live in Charleston because it is a diverse city. Downtown Charleston, you have the College of Charleston. In North Charleston, you have Charleston Southern University. We have downtown Charleston, the Medical University of South Carolina, and we have the local Trident school here as well. So it's diverse. Like it's very, very diverse.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Um,
Hmm.
so the Carolinas are diverse, is very diverse. It's just when you compare it to the DMV, I don't think anything other than maybe New York City in our country compares to the DMV when it comes to diversity, right? But as far as what do you have to say? What do you have to say, Tamika? Share it with
Nothing.
me. Talk to me about the diversity in Raleigh. Tell me it's changed dramatically since I went to law school.
I honestly think it
Yeah,
has,
yeah,
again, not just for Raleigh, just Fayetteville as well. I think there's
hmm
a lot of diversity there. And I think as the people from up north, the people from New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, as they start to migrate and come here, I think the diversity is going to start to shift even more. You
yeah,
got Fayetteville that has Fort Bragg, right? That's a lot of military. So there's a lot of in and out there. And then you have Raleigh Durham. They have Duke University and UNC and Amazon and Lenovo and, all these big
North
companies
Carolina
there. So
Central. North Carolina
you had to
Central.
add that.
You're not gonna play my law school. You're not gonna play my law school. North Carolina Central. Thank you. We got to make sure we add
Okay.
that. Proud
Okay.
legal eagle
North
right here.
Carolina Central. You
Hey,
got
can
it.
I, hey, Ashley, can I
Yes.
add that also pull for the Greenville area, not necessarily Greenville, but we have Clemson University. This
Yeah.
bringing a lot of people in, of course, the football team. Just heard they're adding another sports area to Clemson, which is great because that's another pull. We have Furman, um,
Hmm.
Greenville Tech, the University Center, um, and it's opening doors. BMW, Clemson, they have the Automotive Center where they're bringing in um, people to train on the automotive industry.
Yeah.
So again,
So
Greenville is definitely growing.
now, quick aside, had nothing to do with really where you're living, but one thing I see opportunity, just in general, I like talking about money and growth. A lot of trades are lacking. A lot of times, we push kids to go to school, go to college, which I obviously went to college, went to law school. I support, but a lot of trades, there's a lot of money to be made for trades. I was plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians. I was dealing with one today. He made a quick 250 in like 30 minutes. Um, and I had like three other appointments. So again, we talked about the manufacturing in those areas and the different school trades and all that. Great way to learn a skill and not be saddled with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, right?
Yeah.
And you can go work, right? And nobody, it's a skill that nobody can take from you.
Skill set
If you
too.
get laid off from one of these tech jobs, you got to go to another tech company. If you have a skill, you can just market yourself on Facebook, right? You can find work. So
Yeah.
the Carolinas, we have that as well. That's something that's overlooked. The trades and the skills are being taught here, and there's a lot of need as well.
Yes.
Um,
Agreed.
I'm going through a couple questions. What is this? Michael Mack said he appreciates us. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you for watching. He visited Charlotte, fell in love with South Park, and knew it wasn't cheap. You are 100% correct. That area is not cheap. Um, what would you say? I know you touched on it a little bit, Mariea. If money was no object, it's always an object. But let's say you wanted to live opulent. Where would you live in your area? Um, Go ahead. I know you mentioned it before, Mariea. Can you mention it again in the Greenville area?
Downtown Greenville,
Yes.
um, definitely downtown Greenville. And then we have a lot of higher end subdivisions around Greenville, um, going toward Furman in the mountains, Caesar's
Hmm.
Head, um, various areas. Greenville is so um, not necessarily, I won't say only diverse in people, but it's just diverse in just the landscape that you have a choice. The couple that we worked with together,
Yeah.
they came down in thinking in mind they wanted one area, and they ended up in a totally different area, and they love it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I
I could
appreciate
not
that.
even mention one place. If I would think, say what would one place I would live in
Hmm.
the upstate. I'm not quite sure because there are a lot of beautiful places around here.
I like it. I like so you have options. You have options. If you come into the Carolinas, you
You
have
have options.
options.
I'm scared of heights, so I may not do the mountains, but
Yeah.
you have options definitely.
Nice. Naomi in the Charleston area. Where would you send them?
Um,
Right around the corner from you. I'm
Yes,
just,
of course, so we could be neighbors.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I would say if money was no option, it'll be Sullivan's Island.
yeah. And what do you say
Definitely.
houses are going for median house? Not, nobody's going to hold you to it. I'm not put you on the spot, but range houses going for in Sullivan Island.
2 million plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tamika, the Raleigh area. Where would you? And it's so spread
Um,
out that area.
it's so spread out.
Yeah.
So I would say like right downtown Raleigh,
Hmm.
right in the middle of Raleigh, Cary, anywhere in Cary, you can get a $2 million house and up. Chapel Hill,
Yeah.
it's so spread out
I was gonna
around just
say,
Raleigh, but
yeah. In the Charlotte area, you have the lakes. You have Lake Norman, Lake Wiley, even Mountain Owl Lake. You have some houses on there that get very expensive. And if you didn't want to be by water or on water, I would say go to Weddington or Marvin, Union County, and all of those. Weddington, Marvin, you can go anywhere from a million to three. You get onto the lake, uh, several million. Uh, don't I have people? Sometimes I have people. Word of advice: it is might not be as expensive as up north or out west, but you're not getting any water for less than 800,000. Like people want to be on the water and everything with like they want to be within like 500,000. It's just not nowadays. It's not happening. Um, you might see a pool from your backyard, but you're not going to see the lake or or you're not going to see any the Catawba River or anything. So real quick, we have Danny Fisher saying his wife and I make around 160, good credit. What Charlotte areas would I recommend? 3 elementary kids. Uh, that's you, Mariea.
That is me.
All right. No, I'm just saying you gotta. Is that you gotta
Yeah,
gotta
let
go?
me. Yes,
All
I
right.
got to go on this one.
I
Okay, thank
appreciate you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, bye bye.
Bye. See, I was prepared for that. I have just 3 people here. I was prepared for her to I knew she had to go handle some business with a client that's actually moving to the area. So to answer Danny's question, what areas would you recommend for schools? The Charlotte area. Um, there's several areas. Mint Hill has some of the best elementary school. Bain Elementary is amazing. Union County has the best school district in the Charlotte area. So Indian Trail, parts of Monroe, you have Waxhaw. It really comes down to what you want in your quality of living. Waxhaw is a little further out. You're going to be a little bit more secluded, but you have larger lots. You also have right across the border in York County, South Carolina, where I'm in TKK and Fort Mill. Those have top 4% schools in the country, public schools. So you have options. You definitely have options. Huntersville has some good schools as well, but it's very hard to find. It's about 4 areas that have good public schools or great. Good is so great public schools for elementary, middle, and high school. There's only 4 areas. The other areas may have good or great schools in one of those, age brackets. So just reach out to me. My team and I we can definitely help and point you in the right direction and find something that works for you. School is something that I always get. So for your areas, the Raleigh area, for school, one, we know you all have the best school district in the state. But for elementary school, if somebody asked that, where would you recommend them go?
it's hard to determine. There's so many.
Yeah. I mean, y'all are
It,
the number one school district, right? So y'all have, yeah, y'all have a plethora of options.
Yeah.
No worries. Naomi, what do you for your area?
Um, any schools in the Dorchester District 2 area. That's ultimately why we chose to live where we live, is because of the schools. That was top priority for us,
Yeah.
for our children.
And I have the client you helped me with in that area moved from Hawaii to come
Oh,
to the schools in that area. And a lot of
mm-hmm.
those communities, one massive, beautiful communities, have schools right in the neighborhood, which is something that
Yes.
I was new. It was new to me. That's something that's not common here in the Charlotte area. Um,
I
so
think I lost
definitely,
you.
y'all are growing
Oh, there you are.
tremendously, and it's beautiful there.
Yes. Thank you.
A lot of people are doing homeschooling too.
Yeah.
Um, in the Raleigh Durham area. I'm not a big fan of homeschooling right now, but I hear that Ravencroft and like Trinity School District is really good.
Hmm.
But again, there's so many out there. It's just,
No, I understand. And but
yeah.
if you
I,
want
I want to
to,
add. I want to add something real quick.
yes.
Also, too, for those viewers out there that send their kids to private schools, um,
Mhm.
there's a lot of private schools here. My favorite here in the Somerville area is oh my goodness, I can't even think of the name of the school.
What is the cost of private school in that area? And I'll talk about cost of the private school in this area, general range. Um, because some of these metros where people had their kids in public school or private school, you're talking about for one kid, 30, 40, $50,000 a year. What is the
Yeah, that's
That
cost
a
of
that
private
is
school?
true.
What is the private cost of private school in the Charleston area? Range, not obviously not one particular school, just a range.
I would say between 12 to
Yeah.
$20,000. Like in the
Much.
Somerville area, the school I was thinking about is Pinewood Prep
Hmm.
here in Somerville. My daughter, she attended a private school in downtown Charleston. It was an all girls school.
Hmm.
The tuition there is like 25K for the year.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's but they have lots of funding,
Yeah.
if you want to get your kids in that
Yes.
school. So
Yeah.
yes. But
And
there's a lot of private schools here.
so I'm a big proponent of public school. Right, I love public school,
Mhm.
but going to Georgetown, seeing what private education or that can afford you, um, you're paying for the education, but you're also paying for the access. You're
Yes.
paying for the
Yes.
camaraderie. Um, you don't know what people are going to be in the future, right? What they're going to grow up to be, but you have a bond. People do business with people who they know, like, and trust. And they're like, oh, well, I went to school with them back when, and opens doors. To this day, like, Georgetown opens so many doors where they just hear, I went to Georgetown, and there you go. Same thing with private school. It's not even so much what you learned, it's what you have access to.
I have to
Correct.
agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely have to agree. I know like a lot of schools out in Raleigh, they have like these STEM programs where kids can actually
Hmm.
go into the lab and just, flourish with, their sciences and stuff like that. And a lot of schools out there also have like foreign, they teach them Spanish and French. And so, they're very, they have access to a lot.
Yes, most definitely. Um, So the average cost of public or private school in the Charlotte area is anywhere from similar to Charleston, 10 to 25, 30, a couple of them, but 10 to 25. There's one in Union County where it's like $5,000, which was very. I was shocked. I was shocked to hear that. We have a question for you, Tamika. Somebody has family in Clayton and Fayetteville, has interest in buying in Clayton. What is the income to best live comfortably there in Clayton?
I would say anywhere between 80 to 90K. will be able to get you a really nice, I would say, a 3.2 in Clayton. You could possibly get like a 4.2. So I would say
Yeah,
anywhere from 80 to 90K for
very nice.
Clayton.
Dubbed Aquatics says, why is living cost so high if wages are so low? Um, I will I will be the last to answer that. Naomi, what do you have to say about that question? How did you answer that? Why is living cost so high if wages are so low? I would say that wages aren't that low.
I was gonna say,
Wages aren't that low. It depends on what you do, right? Obviously, it depends on what you do. Again, I'm not trying to offend anyone. It just really depends on what you do. Like right now in the Charlotte area, like banking, healthcare, education is the main drivers, and those incomes aren't low. Now, teachers in North Carolina get paid a pittance. Is like that's awful. But as far as what's bringing the industries that's bringing people in, at least to the Charlotte area, the incomes aren't low. And then especially if you have two income household, if both of them making six figures, that's not low at all. But what do you all have to say? That was just for the Charlotte area. Tamika, you kind of seconded me, but
I definitely agree.
yeah,
I think it's very, I'm not going to say easy, but a lot of people out in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Cary area clear six figures easily. And you also got to think a lot of people have side hustles nowadays that bring in that extra money because, so we don't see, the lower income on this side.
yeah.
Now, the Fayetteville market is a little different.
I had some rentals in Fayetteville at one point. Never again. Never again. Never again will I have a rental in Fayetteville. But yeah, no, but no. So that's a whole different. So cost of living in Fayetteville is a lot more affordable. And
Yeah.
Rayford,
Yeah.
I like Rayford area.
Yeah.
I have a client moving from that area, thinking about moving from that area to Charlotte, and they were a little shocked at the bang for the buck that they didn't realize how good they had it.
Hmm.
With even a much higher budget in Charlotte, it didn't quite afford them what they were used to in Rayford.
Yeah.
So
And Rayford's growing too.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Naomi,
Okay, so I thought about the question.
yes,
I I what I'm seeing out every day, like Tamika said, everybody has a side hustle. Two days ago, they were hiring on spot at the post office at the library, starting $19 an hour. I'm a former postal employee. When I started off, it was $11 when I was working at the post office, and now anybody can get on starting off at $19 an hour plus, and then like Tamika said, everybody has a side hustle. They're either doing yards, selling T-shirts. The females are selling hair. They're doing something to have a second income so they can live. So I mean, it just depends on what you do. And then another thing too, people are working the Boeing, Volvo, Mercedes, T-Mobile, Google, shipyard, military. They're doing that. They're working overtime. Like you said, they're making six figures.
easily.
crazy.
I talked to somebody working in one of those areas, and this was what during 2020 or 2021, and they made like 150 just in overtime for the year, like 150 just
Woo.
in overtime, and I'm like, whoa, okay. So yeah, it's one of those things to where again trades. It's where it's at. Like many people, again, I'm not poo pooing on school and college and all that. I did it. I love it. It opened so many doors. But trades and manufacturing, like there's opportunity. Uh, that's there. That many people shun or look down upon, but there's no reason to look, when you see that check, there's no reason to look down upon it at all. Real quick, couple. Kelly, you're welcome. They're thanking us for our honest answers. We try to be as transparent as possible. There is, as licensed realtors, there's a line there, and I like to walk up to the line. So, so yeah, no, we try to keep it real, just because we understand that these are questions that we would have moving to an area, and concerns that we have moving to an area, and Googling something, or chat GPTing something, or YouTubing sometimes won't get you the answer, or the realness that you want. We have a question/comment saying, the smaller towns are still segregated, in his opinion, more blacks in the city, but smaller towns very Republican energy. Now, I can't really, I don't know if I want to touch on that. I don't know if I want to touch on it. I do talk about in my videos, like avoid North Carolina. I do touch on that, but it was scripted, so I knew I stayed right in my lane. That is your opinion. Does anybody else have any varying or differing opinions? And as the area, I can speak for the Charlotte area, as the Charlotte area grows and expands, it's becoming a lot more diverse outside the city, because that's where the not affordable housing, but housing are just more affordable as you go further out. So those areas that may be what you're thinking of back 5-10 years ago, there's a change that has happened and is still occurring in a lot of those areas. So just keep that in mind. Don't be closed-minded thinking that that's just the case, because it was the case. I'm just going through some questions real quick. This is a great discussion. As someone who lived in all these areas, with the exception of Raleigh, you all were spot on. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it. Again, 76 viewers right now. Thank you all for watching us. And hit that like button. Do us a favor. And I know I told you I was going to keep you an hour. We're about an hour and 5 minutes right now. So for just trying to be courteous, I want them to come back. I'm sure you all want them to come back as well. Probably was 10 more minutes okay with you all?
Yeah.
10,
Yeah, that's
15?
fine.
That's all right. Schools in the community, it's like the Palisades, yes. The Somerville area, so Palisades the question is from Kareem. Schools in the community, it's like the Palisades. When I mentioned that the subdivisions in Somerville and the greater Charleston area had schools right there. There's a community in Charlotte that has various schools in it. So it is just like the Palisades, but new. The Palisades has new portions, but a lot of those communities are brand new, and the schools are top of the line as far as technology, and I like gadgets and toys. They have all of that in the school, in the classrooms. I can't speak highly enough of Nexton. I was a fan as soon as I went in there. And one thing about it, I'm going to have more videos about Nexton as well, but competition brings the best, and this has to do with everything, but builders in specific. Competition brings the best out of them. A lot of times you go into certain communities and it's only one builder, so they feel like they can kind of cut corners and not give you the top of the line. Nexton has 8-9 builders in there, well 10 if you want to include like the 55 and older portion of it, the Del Webb. So 8-9 builders in there, and they're competing for your attention. In this community, I'll let you talk more about the community as well, but this community, like, they're competing and they're all playing generally within the same price point. And so that means they are pulling all the stops, the finishes that you would not see in Charlotte, in Raleigh, at this price point. You're getting for 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 that you would not get anywhere else in the Carolinas. But while we're talking about Nexton, please tell us about Nexton. What is it? What is Nexton?
Nexton is it's it's an amazing community. Like you were saying, they have 9 builders out there. It's basically a city within a city.
Yeah.
As you know, they have, I want to say, an elementary school out there,
Mm-hmm.
but they're actually building another school in that community. Um, right now, they're building an MUSC, a medical university of South Carolina. Um, they currently are building a Publix, a Harris Teeter. Everything is right there in the community where you do not have to leave. They have 5-star restaurants in Nexton. Um, we have Buffalo Wild Wings. Everything is right there. Everything is literally a golf cart drive away.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
It's nothing like it at all. Now, granted, now the I have to give you the negatives because I can gush about it, right? Negative is you're in the Charleston area, you're not right by the beach, right? But you
Right.
literally, aside from the beach, you don't have well, and where you work, right? If you don't work in there, but you have no reason to leave Nexton at all.
No reason.
Um, it is amazing. I went to various restaurants, bars. There's a steakhouse, chop house there in Nexton.
Hoss,
Yes.
yes.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. How many homes is it? It's like a 10-year project, but I know there's like I want to say 9,000 or something like this. It's a 10-year project that they're going to be building for a while, but now, well, preferably like a year and a half, 2 years ago would have been the perfect time to get into it, but now is still a good time because pricing as they build up more of it, it's only going to go up.
Yes. I might want to add, I had a client that purchased in the Nexton community.
Hmm.
They purchased a home. It was a three, two and a half, 1,700 square foot home, a true homes home, actually. They purchased it for 259, and they sold it a couple months ago. Actually, when the market started shifting,
Yeah,
they were still able to clear almost 100 grand
yeah.
in a matter of 2 years.
Just can't beat that. And that's why I tell people to buy property and wait as opposed to wait. Because people, too many people want to wait to buy. No, buy it and just hold on to it. Wait.
Yep.
Um, Perler Joseph asked, what is the difference between Raleigh and Charlotte? He'll be moving from Florida and would like to know which city is best for healthcare and also has entertainment and shopping for early 30-year-olds. I'll let you give your pitch for Raleigh.
Well, best for healthcare, I would definitely say Raleigh with the UNC healthcare systems. There's Duke University hospitals here. There's Wake Meds. Continuing to grow. Um, Not so sure about the entertainment top in Charlotte, but we're pretty close.
Now, now, Perler, you heard it, right? She wasn't confident in that second part of that answer, right? She was confident in that first part. She was confident. No. Healthcare, I would say it's a wash. Well, I think Charlotte's healthcare, again, Charlotte is known for their healthcare and banking. You have Atrium and Novant Health here, excellent services. But entertainment, it's not even quite, it's no question. It is no question. Charlotte has it. Now, granted, do not compare Charlotte to DC or LA or anything like. We're comparing it to Raleigh, and we there's no real comparison when it comes to entertainment. And Raleigh is so. It's I want to say to me, Raleigh feels like a large small town where you have to go everywhere. Nothing's like really centrally located. In Charlotte, you can go to Noda, walk around. You can go to South End, walk around. You can go to South Park and sort of walk around, right? There's various areas in the Charlotte region to where you can just sit back and enjoy. Early 30s, Charlotte. Now, if you were in your 50s, I would say Raleigh. Um, I would say Raleigh.
Disagree.
If you're in your 50s,
50s?
go
Nah, maybe
go enjoy
40s. I'll
yourselves.
take the 40s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing we can agree on: both of those areas are better than Fayetteville when it comes to entertainment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So one thing, Naomi, I don't know something I'm just ignorant about. I don't know about the entertainment in Charleston. What does Charleston have for entertainment options? Do you, Naomi?
They have the PGA golf tour, in Kiowa Island. On Daniels Island, they host
Yeah,
the Family Circle Cup.
yeah, yeah.
Venus and Serena, they've been out here. Um, that's
She
pretty
she
much
named like
it.
two events throughout the year.
I mean,
So
it's a tourist place.
it's a
We
tourist
have the
place. Yeah,
cruise lines
yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah.
downtown Charleston. I
Downtown
mean, as
Charleston.
far as entertainment, there's a lot of clubs and bars and stuff. So I'm from Mississippi.
Yes.
So I've been to, New Orleans, Bourbon Street. So Charleston is like a smaller scale. Downtown Charleston is like a smaller version
Hmm.
of Bourbon, but more Christian like. Yeah,
I'm not even gonna.
I'm just being
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I was gonna touch on that. I'm not even going to. How's the weather in the area? Is Michael Mack is coming from Buffalo. He like a milder winter.
Oh,
So I'm from Rochester, New York, hour and a half from Buffalo. You'll love it here. You couldn't pay me to go back up to upstate New York. I think I've gone once in the past 10 years. Couldn't do it. Can't do it. I people that know me know that I wear shorts year round. Black shorts, black hoodie, or a black T-shirt. That's what I wear. I'm perfectly comfortable in it. You can do it in Buffalo year round because I did it. I did it in Rochester, but you're gonna be suffering. It's tough. Um, you're gonna it's gonna snow at least in the Charlotte area, maybe 3 times a year. It only happened once so far. At most, you're gonna get like 2, 3 inches, and at the hint of snow, if anybody even forecasts it, the whole city shuts down. Um, so yeah, no, it's very mild, but you do get all 4 seasons here in Charlotte. I won't speak on the other areas. Tamika, what would you say?
I think the weather down here is a lot milder. I wouldn't move back up north either. I don't like the snow. Didn't like the cold. The winters down here in the south are very mild compared to up there. I think if it does snow down here, an inch, and they canceling school. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I call them soft. Like, so I walk my daughter. We're gonna get to you, Naomi. I walk my daughter to the bus stop. It's like 4 houses down, and when it got to be December, no other kids came to the bus stop because it's too cold. And I'm looking at my neighbors like, are you serious? You're not gonna let your kids? You're not gonna walk with your kids? You're gonna drive them to school because it's 40 degrees? Um, yeah, I just don't get it, but it is a whole different world. Uh, Naomi, how was the weather?
We get all 4 seasons here.
Yeah.
Yesterday highs was 55. Today it was 80 degrees.
Ooh.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
It
nice.
snowed here 5 years ago. You know, when it snowed, they shut everything down. Like if we get flurries, everything is shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally everything is shut down. Nobody knows how to drive. So
No,
that's
that's the truth.
that's how it
That's the
That's
is.
the
truth.
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Perler. One second. Have question. Kali Olay. how is the Mount Holly and Belmont areas? Wife and I are planning to move to Charlotte this summer. Uh, I really like both areas. Uh, both of them, well, Mount Holly right now is undervalued. You can get very good, well, comparative to the other areas in Charlotte, very good value and deals for properties presently. I don't know what it's going to look like going into the spring and summer, but presently, very good value. And Belmont has, I love both of those downtown areas, but Belmont is a bit more pricier right now. It was a hidden gem. It's not hidden anymore. People are taking advantage of Belmont, and because it's right on the water. Trying to see questions we have for you all. Um, Questions about Charlotte. We have Charleston has festivals, jazz, uh, Spolito, etc. What is Spolito?
Yeah, they had a Spilito festival.
What is that? Share with us. Do you? No worries, no worries. Because there's certain festivals here in the Charlotte area I would not know what it is. Um, I believe in Jersey.
There's a lot of festivals here. I just, me personally, I don't go to them.
Yeah.
They had Charleston Restaurant Week here last week.
I saw you promoting it. I was gonna take some of your posts and use them as my own. I did not. I did not. But I was going to. I thought about it.
Yeah, like there's a lot of there's things to do here.
Yeah.
I just don't get out as much. Like I got too many kids. Yeah.
Well, I don't get out that much because I mean, at this point, yeah, if it's more than like 15 minutes away, I'm not going. Um, and I'd rather just have people come to me, right? I'd rather people come to me.
Right.
Um, a little more questions. If you are from a small town, you might like Charleston. If you are from a bigger city and growth is important to you, Charlotte or Raleigh may be more up your alley. South Carolina still has a way to go. I would agree to that. Although Charleston, I don't know. I like it's not a big city, right? But I like Charleston and in the suburbs of Charleston, North Charleston, Somerville. What is that one? We talked about it off camera. The True Homes community.
Homecoming.
Homecoming. Talk to us about home because that's going to be quite a bit of homes over there as well. How far is Homecoming from downtown Charleston?
Um, I would say about 15, 20 miles
Okay.
from downtown Charleston because it's actually on the outskirts of Dorchester County,
Mm-hmm.
and you can take Highway 61 and it brings you into the West Ashley portion of Charleston and then into downtown. So it's like a straight shot. So I'm really excited about this community for the simple fact that they're building single family homes. They have the townhomes out there. And then their next phase, they're going to be building homes that have like courtyards, have the full circle driveways. Like I'm
Yeah.
excited about
Yeah.
that. They haven't built anything like that on this side of town yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be a first. It's going to be a first.
No, I already let True Homes know. Like I'm gonna be marketing that
Here
community.
you.
So if somebody says, "Hey, I saw this video with a guy in a hat talking about it," just bring it. Like that was me. That was me. So yeah, no, Homecoming. I like True Homes as a builder. The fact that they're semi-custom. There's a lot of
Yes.
spec builders. You get what they give you. True Homes. If you wanted a room pushed out 4 feet, 6 feet, you can do so. It's semi-custom and it's somewhat overwhelming, but
Yes.
it's one of those things that you do have options to customize your house.
Yes. I've personally sold over 13 true homes.
Hmm.
Like and I love the quality. They're
Yeah,
good quality homes. Like you said, you have lots of options when it comes to the to be built homes. I mean, they're great. They're great.
yeah.
Um, Also, too, I want to add this really quick. Over there in the Summers Corner community.
Yes, where we were. That's the community we worked in.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So Lennar, that's Lennar's largest land deal that they've purchased in the state of South Carolina.
7,000 homes.
No, 6,500 acres.
Oh, wow!
Yes,
I didn't realize it was that large. I just knew
yes,
like they basically made us again. They made a city out in
yes,
the middle of nowhere. Um,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
and
So they plan to be building out there the next 20 years.
yeah, yeah. My a client that we work together with absolutely loves her home there. She overlooks a pond
The
and
pond, yes.
wakes up in the morning, has her coffee. She's a photographer, so she takes amazing photos as well.
Ooh,
Yeah, if you need a photographer, I know you like to get your I'll put you in contact with her. She's good.
okay.
She did it back in Hawaii, and of course that landscape was amazing. But she just has an eye. She has an eye.
Awesome, awesome.
True Homes got it. Real quick, I think we'll end on this because it's about to be 8:30. Where would you suggest looking for multi? Maybe we won't end on this because this might be a dud of a question. Looking for multifamily homes, not too far from either of the cities. If somebody wanted multifamily in Raleigh or Charleston, where would you recommend they go?
Uh, North Charleston and Somerville, definitely.
Yeah,
There's always multifamily units on the market.
perfect.
I
Somerville,
would,
you'll get more bang for your buck in Somerville.
Okay.
yeah, I would recommend around the Clayton area or going outside of Raleigh,
Yeah.
more like Mabane, Angier, more of the country. Well, not country, but
No, my bang is
more.
country.
Yeah,
It's country.
more of like the rural areas. I
Yeah.
mean, multifamilies are really hard to find in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Just being honest, the best thing would be is to buy some land and build. Um,
Yeah.
that's tough.
That's similar to the Charlotte area. There's not many multifamily houses or units, and the ones that do exist, investors aren't giving up. Like
Right.
those are cash cows. They're not giving them up. Uh, Charlotte was going through. It took like 2 years to pass their proposal on what they want to do, how they want to move forward, and they passed it just this past fall. And one of the elements in it is that they will be developing more multifamily units in Charlotte. And in March, if you're in the area, I haven't, I'm letting it be known here, we're getting it together in the background, but we're going to do a seminar, myself and Sahad, if you're familiar with the channel. She's a mortgage broker with Movement Mortgage. We're actually going to talk about how you can become have instant equity and have a multifamily unit. As far as it's very popular in DC, where you have row houses and single family, but then they pop the top and turn that single family row house into a duplex where you have a unit upstairs and a unit downstairs. And it's one way in which you can make housing affordable for you, because you have the part you're living in, and then you have the other unit that is paying a portion of your mortgage, if not all of it. And there's opportunity for that in the Charlotte area, and we're going to be doing a class on that and talk about funding and everything like that, because I know there's a lot of questions on how to do that. And that just right up my alley as an investor. First, when I first got into real estate as an investor, and that's still a passion of mine. So just ways in which you can house hack, live in it, make money off of the rental income, and then when you outgrow it, don't sell it. Just rent out both units and let it be a cash cow for you. But there's not that many multifamilies presently in the Charlotte area, and I wouldn't even say there's not really much You can go to Gaston County, but again, there's just not much, and the ones that are existing, they're just not coming to market.
Yeah.
So I don't want to end on that question, ladies. So sorry. Um, let's talk about guns. Uh, somebody has a question about the gun law. Somebody's coming from Chicago, and it's very restrictive. The gun culture or policies in Chicago is very restrictive. I wouldn't know based on what happens in Chicago, but here in the Carolinas, I was I'm not gonna say I was anti-gun, but I was not born and raised around guns. Carolinas is just different. It's a strong gun culture. One of my videos, I talk about being introduced to the gun culture while being in law school, and this gentleman literally brought a whole arsenal to the gun range, and I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing, and I'm thinking we're just going to go poom poom, and no, he's going like machine gun, but no, you will not have as many restrictions. It is fairly easy to get a gun permit, a carry concealed permit, at least in North Carolina. I can't speak for South Carolina. How is the gun culture in the Raleigh area?
It's pretty good. You just have to have your concealed to carry license. Yeah. I show houses with my gun on my hip. I am licensed to carry.
And there's a reason why. Like, granted, crime happens everywhere, right? And I made a joke about in one of my videos about you don't really see too much accosting here in the Carolinas because you never know who's carrying, because just about everybody's carrying.
Right.
So it's like you can like somebody may be docile and all that, and they're used to having it, so it's not like a badge of honor or anything like that. It's just, okay, this is just I'm leaving to go to the grocery store, and simple as that. It's not, they don't need to stun or show it off. It's just part of the culture here. But Naomi, what is the gun culture in Charleston?
It's basically the same thing Tamika said. Like, everybody here, you gotta have your permit to carry, but just like you said, it's like they're not flaunting it. Everybody here carries.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know unless they tell you.
Exactly. It's this difference between when you're, now this is a generalization, but when you're raised around it, you have a healthy respect for it, and it's nothing too, why flaunt it? Like, I got it when I was 2.
Right.
that
part.
I got it when I was 2. There's no need, like, why am I flaunting? This is just every day. But no, ladies, thank you very much. I enjoyed our conversation. And those of you who don't, well, none of you know, I called Tamika an hour before. She was in the grocery store. I was like, can you jump on? And also, those of you, it was going to be Bree Bowling. I've had Bree on the channel. Pray for Bree right now. But thank you very much, both of you, for sacrificing your time to join us tonight. And Tamika, thank you for being so flexible.
Oh, absolutely.
Their information will be in the description below. But before we leave, can you share with how can people get in contact with you? Let's go with Naomi first.
Yes, you guys can find me on Facebook under Naomi Payton Realtor, and also on Instagram as Naomi Sells Low Country. So you guys follow me, like my page, and share my posts. I like to share a lot of videos and share my clients' experiences.
I like it. Thank
purchasing
you.
and selling their homes.
Tamika, how can people contact you?
Yes, so you can contact me. I am the big owner of Phoenix Realty and Staging. That is the name of my company. We help clients buy and sell homes as well as staging. You can reach me at, well, I can give out my business phone number, right?
Yeah.
910.
Give me your number, your email, however you want people to contact you.
Area code 910-644-4172 is our business number. Email address is phoenixrealty.staging@gmail.com. And just feel free to contact me. We're here to help with your real estate needs.
Now, thank you all. You all have a good night. My contact information will be below as well. Y'all be well. Talk to y'all later.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.